Team, welcome to a monthly wrap-up of Raising Havana. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I will very quickly talk about what Havana has done today, but I want to spend a lot of the time pondering and thinking about the past month with her and how well she's done and what we've improved on and what we need to do a little bit more of. So really quickly, I took her to a car park near my house to practice in a new environment. We did a little bit of coin indication stuff and a little bit of loose lead walking stuff. All of it went well. The only issue was the wind was horrendous. So I was really unable to get any good footage. My camera kept falling over, and in the end that just wasn't going to be viable for what we wanted to do. So here are some little snippets and some little snapshots, but that's probably all I'm going to do with her today because the wind is so bad she was basically being blown away. But her loose lead walking there was nice. Her loose lead walking in general was brilliant, and her coin work was also really good as well. I wanted to take the time today to examine some of the highlights of the past month and see how Havana has progressed. And I realised that there were 4 key elements that I really wanted to work on with her over the course of these 30 or so episodes. And where she's come from versus where she is now is amazing. So we'll start with her overall confidence. If we remember, Havana was scared of novel objects. She was really unsure of people. She was unsure of having a harness and lead being put on. And I'm happy to say for most of those things, she's ballooned in her overall confidence. She's quite happily doing free work now, engaging with the environment, sniffing things, interacting with novel objects, putting her paws up on everything. She's going up to people to say hello. She's not super keen on them saying hi back yet, but it's massive progress from the dog who used to stop and stare at them. And we are still working on the harness and the lead, being very honest. It's still not to the level I'm happy with. She's still a little bit shy around it, but we are going to get there, and it's going to be a priority for the next month to really crack that. So overall, her general confidence has bloomed. You might also remember that in previous episodes I've talked about Havana being unsure about being left alone. Well, we've basically smashed that now. So we can leave her downstairs for a period of time and she'll have a chew or she'll sleep or she'll do whatever she needs to do. And we've been able to leave the house for about an hour without any issues whatsoever. This was done by just being really consistent, and to be honest, the footage would have been quite boring because it would have just been Havana sleeping, but it was short little increments of being left alone for maybe 30 seconds, and then we built it up to a minute, 2 minutes, etc. And now 90% of the time she's absolutely golden being left, so over the moon with that. The third is getting her to use her nose. So obviously, if you guys remember those very early videos, I'd throw some food on the floor, scatter some food down, and she just wasn't getting it. She wasn't figuring out she can go and find it. She wasn't sure if she could search for it. And now she's become a bit of a nosework superstar. So she'll quite happily find food on the floor. We've got our chase cue, which is looking really tight. And we're doing some gorgeous searching for the coin, be that in tracking or just general searching. So where she came from, this dog who wouldn't put her nose down to the floor and was very kind of eyeball-y in terms of how she interacted with the world, is now stopping and sniffing stuff out and walks. She's doing all her nose work stuff. So that transformation is probably my favourite. And those 3 things specifically, and the 4th thing, which we'll talk about in a second, are all connected, yeah? That confidence building and those foundations that I've been doing with her, it's all been to raise her confidence. And her confidence has led into the 4th thing, which is her general exuberance for training. Even though we've not done a wide variety of things, we've tackled a couple of key aspects. We've done some boundary training, we've done some paws up, we've done some toy play as well, which has been really fun. Mainly it's been confidence building, and her enthusiasm for training and her enthusiasm for life now is shining through. I can sit here and get the camera out and she gets really excited and wiggly. I'll come downstairs in the morning and she's really excited and wiggly as well. We go out and she spots a dog and she's really excited. So all of those elements are coming together nicely to create a solid foundation of a happy dog, a dog who's content. Because if I was going to sit here and say, I could have trained to do some more specific behaviours and gotten really in depth, what matters more is she's happy, because if she's happy, all that nitty-gritty stuff I can build on in the future. And to be fair to her, she is getting really in depth with her nose work, so I can't really complain. What's on the agenda for the next few months? Well, I want to keep working on her nose work, of course. I want to get boundary training cracked as well. I really want that to be a prerequisite behaviour for her so that I can trust her to be on a boundary no matter what's going on. big things. Paws up and getting her used to the harness and lead being put on, because I don't want that to be an uncomfortable experience for her. I want her to enjoy that process, and I've just not dedicated the time, which is completely on me. And working around other dogs. So as I've said before, that I've got 2 French Bulldogs, Kevin and Uggy, and they've had limited interaction, mainly because both of them aren't really huge fans of other dogs. They don't mind them, but they don't want to be mauled by a Labrador puppy. But we need to start getting Havana working around other dogs, because that is one aspect of it that we've not neglected but hasn't been important, because she is so happy and confident around other dogs that we've been trying to build her confidence with other things. So what we need to work on is getting her used to these guys, as well as working in a class. So she's going to come and be in one of my classes with some of my students when we can do that. At the time of recording, we are currently coming towards the end of our 2nd lockdown here in England. The goal is going to be to build her up to working around other dogs with the same level of intensity and concentration that she has doing loose lead walking around me, recalling off of stuff, and nose work as well. I'd really like to get her doing some nose work behaviours around other dogs too, so we can really tighten them up. So there we go, a fantastically successful month for such a good girl. Seeing where she's come from versus where she is now, I'm sure you guys will agree if you've been following the series, is amazing. All by just focusing on a few core concepts and hammering them in, we've seen this dog transform from a very nervous, very unsure little Labrador to a confident, boisterous, sometimes overconfident puppy. So I'm really over the moon. If you've enjoyed following Havana's adventure for the first month, please subscribe so you can keep up to date with the following months. Leave a comment down below saying the biggest transformation that you've noticed from Havana from that first session to today's edition. And you can find me on Facebook at Jack Fenton the Dorset Dog Trainer. Thank you very much for watching, team, and I will chat with you again soon. Bye!